welcome to the Eccentric Lady Society. This is a new podcast I'm starting where I literally just chat to like fellow eccentric women who I'd really like to get to know better because, I just think it's a cool concept. And my favourite kind of people are eccentric people. I was just saying before, like some of my favourite people, I really like Julia Fox. She's really out there. I mentioned the lady who's obsessed with green who lives in New York, and just like I really, really, really love women who are out there, and I want to have a podcast celebrating that and getting to know, local icons. I'd call them icons, not even but I love it when women are just free and themselves and really expressive, and I want to have a podcast that celebrates that. So that's the whole premise of it. This is Daisy Atkinson.
Hello. Hi.
And this is Imogen Evans.
Hi.
And they're both really, really good musicians. Daisy's got this sort of ethereal, like natural sort of vibe. Ooh, I'm knocking over my harp, sorry. And Imogen has like this sort of very rocky vibe and, very sort of like witchy aesthetic, which I really like. If you'd like to introduce yourselves as well, if you have anything you'd like to.
Hello, my name is Imogen Evans. I'm 18 and I'm a singer-songwriter guitarist, and this is exactly what I say every single time I get on stage. I really like rock music and metal, and I like witchy stuff, and that's about it, really.
Okay.
Hello. I'm Daisy Atkinson. I'm 24 and I am a singer and a guitarist, and I sing in the pubs and I write some music and I love it. Thank you.
You write good music as well, both of you. Like,
so do you.
Got Spotify. They're on Spotify. So the first question I want to ask is like, what has been your journey to where you are right now?
You want to go?
You go.
Okay, my journey. I'll start. Do you want like the whole shebang?
I can go for the whole shebang.
I'll give you the whole shebang. We might be in for the long run here. So growing up, me and my brother, I've got an older brother who's 5 years older than me, and me and him would sing in the car High School Musical 2 soundtrack, Katie Price and Peter Andre album. So I've always like loved singing Hannah Montana, like Disney Channel was like my thing, Camp Rock, all of that. I used to just love it. Anyway, my brother was always in the choirs and in like the school shows and stuff, so I wanted to be like him. Like I was like, I need to do that. So as soon as I could, I joined the choir, and they were like, oh, you can have a solo actually, and I was like, oh, thanks. And then from then they just sort of like started pushing me and doing solos and stuff, and then we got guitar lessons in like year 4 or year 5, and I was buzzing about it. I was really excited. Did that and loved it and was quite good at it, so I was like, why not bring the two together? So I started singing and playing the guitar together when I was like 10. There's videos of me on YouTube with like really, really short hair. I'm not going to tell you the link, but you've seen them. Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, from then I just sort of like did school shows and stuff like that, and my teachers really, really believed in me and like pushed me and stuff to like out of my comfort zone and sing different songs and learn different stuff. And then when I got to high school, like everyone, I feel like everyone's like trying to fit in and like doesn't want to draw too much attention to themselves, so I sort of lost it a bit. And it wasn't until I went to college that I was like, I want to get back into this. I started doing the music course at college, loved it, met loads of really cool friends, was put in bands, like, and then we got to do gigs as part of the course, loved that. And then just by accident, I started getting gigs around town at the Galleon. I was playing at the Galleon like every week.
It's a good place to start though. There's a lot of people.
I say there. If you can play at the Galleon, you can play anywhere, because the people that go in there, like, you never know who you're gonna get.
Yeah.
And like it can be scary sometimes in there. So yeah, it's a good place to start, definitely. Like I really, really like, I see that as like my apprenticeship. Like I played at the Galleon and then progressed into other venues and stuff. And I feel like I learned everything, and also like the musicians in the Galleon, I learned a lot from them. I feel like I'm waffling. And then I Yeah, I just accidentally fell into doing it full time.
I think that's a really good answer, and it kind of encompasses everything. So
Yeah. That's me.
yeah. Would you like
Cool.
Okay.
Can I just check that there? It is green. Yes, it is
is
green.
green.
It's
It is
green.
green.
Okay.
Okay. I guess I'll go for the full shebang as well. So, I mean, I've got videos of me singing like around the Christmas tree when I was like 3 years old. That was fun. I've kind of always been singing, but I didn't really play guitar until a lot later. I remember writing songs because of Ed Sheeran. I was obsessed with Ed Sheeran as a kid. I've got a song about him. I wrote it when I was 12, and the producer who produced my album recorded it with me, which is really
Nice.
embarrassing. I'll show you later. But other than that, I remember seeing this interview with Ed Sheeran where it was just like, you've got to write 100 bad songs before you write a good one.
I think it's true. Yeah.
And that was like the thing that made me like, oh, okay, right. So these ones are awful, but let's like carry on and do this. I was just checking I didn't turn it off.
No, it's this little button that's like there. That's the on.
Okay,
button. So
wonderful.
There
Right,
you are.
I'll just avoid that one. But yeah, so I like wrote stuff from a very young age, just about like very like naive topics, like whatever I was interested in at the time. And then I was in like choirs and stuff in primary school, but I never really got majorly into it. I did musical theatre lessons, which was not my thing whatsoever. I wanted singing tuition, but there wasn't really anywhere to do just singing tuition that like fit me. So I was like, right, I'm just gonna go to Scream and do this.
Oh, cool.
Scream, yeah.
Oh.
So I did that for a while, and I was like in the choir, and then I did these musical theatre lessons, and I did like lambda grades until like grade 5 or something. I don't know. And yeah, that was pretty cool. It like helped me with vocal like control and stuff. And then I taught myself ukulele when I was in it was like year 7 or something. We like picked up the ukuleles in music class, and I was like, yeah, that's a bit of me.
Yeah.
So started playing ukulele with like one of my best friends at the time, and posting covers which aren't still out there. I think I privated them all, thank God. But yeah, then I moved on from ukulele to guitar. I remembered this like distinct memory of I went to Devon, and like because I used to have family down there, and we went round to like my friend's house at the time, and like their dad or their brother or whatever had like a big music room and they were playing guitar. And then I was like, you know what, when I get home I'm gonna learn guitar. So I did. And yeah, like since then I've just been playing. And then
Sorry, I keep
You're
hitting
all
the
good.
harp with my bum.
we're just moving it out the way. It is lovely.
I just keep
Yeah.
bumping into it.
That's all good.
There you go. My
Okay.
bum is safe. It's got
Wonderful.
it's got a space. It's all good.
Brilliant. But yeah, I just like I've lost my train of thought because I'm thinking about
sorry.
the harp. That's quite all right. I went to Devon and guitar. Yeah. Anyway, moving on from that, I sort of
Sorry,
started.
guys.
That's quite all right. I started writing songs more seriously. Got a few recorded with my producer, and then I didn't take music at college. I did maths, business, and economics, and now I do economics at uni. So yeah. But when I was 16, I think I went to my first open mic, and then I got gigs off the back of that, and then I got more into gigging, and then I got into hosting open mics, and then it just sort of all spiraled from there, and then released my album, and then here we are.
Here we are.
Fun.
On the Eccentric Lady Society. This is where
Yes.
it all has culminated to. So yeah, that's a really nice journey. I think as well, like it's for me, when I was like getting into music, it's really lovely to look up to people who I admire and see their journeys. And I think within the local area, like you probably can't see this yourselves because you can never really see, like if you shine and you've got like a brightness to your soul, you can never really see it yourself. But I think there's a lot of it's like young girls like in the audience who watch you both perform at like open mic nights or gigs, who genuinely look up to you. And the fact that like I feel like if they can listen to you reflecting on being younger and just starting out, and they sort of go, oh, maybe I could like go into it. And I think it's nice to talk about your roots, because it's like it'll encourage other people to express their souls and be like more fully formed people. I don't know. Anyway, sorry, just going off a tangent. Okay, so now I've talked about the journey. I was just chat about like what are your musical influences. I mean, we kind of already chatted about musical influences in terms of Hannah Montana,
Babe.
babe. But like, let's go more into that.
So yes, listen, because yours are going to be really cool. Yours will be like cool bands. I mean it when I say Hannah Montana. No, like Miley Cyrus as a woman anyway, like
she's a fantastic performer,
and I feel like I watched her grow up as I was growing up. Obviously I'm a little bit younger than her, so but I always looked up to her and like wanted to be that. Like I wanted to, same as Taylor Swift as well, like they were both sort of in the same vein back
era.
in like 2007 2008, and I love all like the pop culture around that, and like everything about like mid 2000s, like early 2000s and stuff is my jam. I love it. But yeah, I love the way that they like have constantly reinvented themselves, and I feel like that's a thing with women in music in general, particularly like pop artists. They're constantly having to reinvent themselves and bring out different styles and different music, and to stay
relevant,
interesting and relevant. Like, I feel like men don't have to do that. Ed Sheeran, great artist, but he just goes on the stage in a t-shirt with his guitar, and he has done for the past like however many years, and people still love him. Whereas like women have to completely reinvent all the time and like stay interesting, and they do that so well. What am I talking about? Influences. Oh my god. But yeah, I mean
it's an interesting subject, and I have got questions on that later.
Okay.
So it does lead into that a little bit. Yeah. We'll chat about that, and we'll get into that, and we'll debate that, and talk about that. But I mean, that's a great answer, though.
I have all sorts, like, I mean, primarily, like, literally Miley Cyrus and Taylor Swift.
Yeah.
Just girlies that play the guitar.
It's nice as well. I like the fact that your answer is... Like, I don't like the fact that there's a lot of people who, for lack of a better term, like crap on. I hear a lot of people crapping on Taylor Swift as if it elevates them, because they are people of taste.
I completely understand like she doesn't do anything like better than any other artist. Like, I get it, but I'm also like, but she is the only one doing it, and she is the top artist in the world for a reason. Like, she's worked for it. Her writing is incredible. Like, people that sort of don't like her, I feel like, aren't educated on it. I honestly, give me 10 minutes, I will make you a Taylor Swift fan. I actually will. Anyway, I'll get it. But then like I've gone through like every phase. Like I went through like the metal phase in high school. I went through like the country phase. I've been like the indie phase. I still love indie music, and like I feel like I'm influenced a lot by sort of indie bands and indie music and like the indie pop, like bedroom pop kind of stuff. But I just feel like because I grew up watching Hannah Montana and High School Musical, I'm always gonna have that like I don't know. Yeah. That's always just gonna be who I am. And like I used to be like, oh my god, no, I need to be cool. Like I listen to the Arctic Monkeys. I don't know what you're talking about, but I'm a pop girly. And
there is nothing wrong with that.
I'm proud.
There's nothing wrong with that. Yeah. So what are your influences?
So it's funny that you mentioned the Taylor Swift thing, because like I've got absolutely nothing against the woman. I just don't listen to it. I love the song that she did that's in the Hunger Games. That is a banger. Oh my god, I put it on my playlist the other day. But I've got nothing against the woman. I just don't listen to her music. Yeah. But I would like your 10-minute I would like your 10-minute thing
I would love to make me you cover a song by Taylor Swift.
I'd quite like to, you know. I'll do the one from the Hunger Games. Really well. Yeah. But anyway, moving on from that. That's just a side thing. My main influences, as I said, like when I was younger, Ed Sheeran was my jam, and like E.L.O. Those were like,
really?
Yeah, that was what my dad played in the car. It was like Ed Sheeran and E.L.O. were the main things that were played in the car. So Ed Sheeran was like the main reason for me starting out with music.
You know what? Sorry to interject.
No, you're all good.
But I wouldn't have actually expected that because it's so like not your aura, your vibe. Like it's so
Yeah.
different, and it's always really crazy to me when people like go, "So what are your musical influences?" and they throw something out, then you're like, "Your music sounds nothing like that."
Yeah.
And it's crazy where the influences come from, but
Yeah.
you know,
It's like that was more not like the influence of the genre or anything. That was the influence of me getting started.
yeah,
In music. I think a lot of my deep roots are in that. I still love like his old music. But then if you're gonna go on to like when I sort of grew up, I had a massive like love for Billie Eilish when she was starting out. I absolutely adored her. And then I sort of like drifted off for a while, but when she released the new album, I was like, yeah, this is good.
So good.
But in terms of what mainly influences me, my absolute all-time favorite band, Mother. I talk about them all the time, but they've been so supportive of me, like personally as well, that it's like it would be crazy for me not to be majorly influenced by them because I showed Ryan one of my songs and he gave me feedback on it and he was like, change this, and I was like, okay, I will.
right now,
I'm gonna do this when I get home. But yeah, Mother, and then Ryan Gulliman's solo project, which is called Ryan Goldmouth now. I really take influence from that lyrically, especially like he's got very poetic lyricism. And one thing that I always say about their lyrics is that they almost feel invasive. Like it feels like you shouldn't be hearing them, and I like to have that in mind. Like I feel like if you properly listen to my music, you're like, God, what's wrong with that? Like if you listen properly, I'm absolutely fine. But I use it as such like an emotional outlet. Like it's like it was my therapy for years. Still is, but I absolutely love it. But then back onto influences, we're getting sidetracked. Right now, my biggest influences in terms of songwriting are probably, I've got to say, like Carnival, System of a Down. I don't know. Serge Tankian's solo project as well. Absolutely love that as an influence. But yeah, like just like rock and metal bands have been like a heavy influence recently because that's like
I feel like that makes sense because I can hear it definitely in the music.
Yeah, it's if you heard what I'm working on right now, it definitely comes through a lot more. As well.
Yeah, so it's like you're finding yourself on your journey, and naturally you're gravitating towards artists, which are kind of where you're going to end up being on your artist development. Well, you'll not end up being them, but like influenced.
Sort of,
yeah.
I also really like goth music.
Oh, go on.
Hi. Sorry to interrupt. I want to say I love the contrast of, and I saw it the other night at the open mic when you played with the band and you were doing all like rock.
Yeah.
The contrast of your voice against that kind of music is very Paramore to me and very Evanescence. I've told you this. When I first met you, I was like, oh my God, it's literally Evanescence. Like you sound, I love it. It works so well.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I think it's that softness with like the rough, like almost aggression of like the guitars and like it's meshes really nicely, you know.
Thank you.
But so what was your first song and the story behind it?
This is going to be really embarrassing.
That's okay.
Okay, go for it.
So everybody remember the 2012 Olympics in London?
Yes.
I was like, oh my God, this is so cool. The Olympics. I don't know nothing about sport. I don't actually care about sport.
I mean, it was cool that it was happening in London,
cool,
though.
Yeah. And I was like, oh my God, ah. So it was called Go for Gold. And it was like, dream big, aim high, go for gold. As like a inspiration to all of these Olympians.
How old were you at the time, if you don't mind me asking?
11, maybe.
That's really cute, though. That's adorable.
Listen, I don't know why. I don't know why. But then I feel like I'd written stuff like that, like you said before, like the naive, like I don't even know what I was writing about. Probably like
other stuff before that you can't remember.
Yeah. But then like one of my first ones that I actually liked and took seriously and recorded, I remember sending it for a uni audition. I can't remember what I called it. It ended up being really, like you said, like invasive and nobody should be hearing that. It was very emotional, very like teen angsty. And that ended up being Pirates. I changed all the lyrics, which is also actually quite
Wow.
invasive. It's not about pirates.
I'm just going to stop you there. That's my favourite song.
It's my favourite of mine.
I love it. And, like, I listen to it quite regularly on Spotify, and it's not the most streamed one.
No.
And I don't understand why. I feel like everyone's missing a trick. That's my personal favourite, and I think that should be.
It's my favourite of mine, I think, so
it's
far
a banger.
Anyway. But yeah, this song that was like my first one that I actually took seriously ended up being sort of changed and rearranged, and the lyrics changed, and it was Pirates. So technically, Pirates is like the first. It's not the first one, but like that's the first one that I properly took seriously. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk.
Oh. Well, you jogged my memory because I thought it was a different one, but now I can remember earlier ones. What I was going to say is the first one that I genuinely remember, and it might still be, is I remember I decided I was going to properly focus and write on a song. I sat in the conservatory for 4 hours writing a parody of the A-Team by Ed Sheeran about me being born.
Wow.
Yeah, it was. I think the first lyrics were, I saw the morning sun, 6:08, my life begun, couldn't walk, couldn't run.
Genius.
Right? The rhymes. So good.
Wow.
Yeah, really good. But that's the first one that
How
I could
old were
remember.
you, if you don't mind me asking?
I've got no idea. I was in
Got no
primary
idea.
school.
Oh.
But I have so many before that I used to write, because I used to have a Hunger Games club that I made up in primary school, and I made a bunch of people join it, and I wrote songs about the Hunger Games. Like, there's so many. There's one called Paw Prints on My Heart that I wrote about Teddy, about my cat scratching my palms. There's the one that you jogged my memory of is, do you know what Young Voices is? Yeah, so I went to Young Voices and I wrote a song about the 2016 Young Voices. Like, I was just like, Young Voices. Yeah, that was like it. And those were like the first ones that I remember writing. But there's just like there's so many. I don't remember when it just kind of happened.
Yeah. I feel like, when it's creativity, it sort of calls to you. And, you could try doing anything else, but you'd always get called back to it. Do you know what I mean? It's just in you. It's innate. Yeah. Where's my next question? Okay. So I was going to ask about the impact your hometown of Blackpool has had on you.
I love Blackpool. I love Blackpool. I will defend Blackpool to the day I die.
Yes.
I love this place, and I will not hear otherwise. Honestly, I have arguments with people about it. Like, I love it here so much. I think going back to what I said before about like my teachers at school really pushing me and like giving me confidence and stuff. The specific teachers that I had, my choir teacher, Mrs. K, she, oh my God, love her. She was literally like my biggest fan, like really gave me loads of opportunities and really helped me like gain my confidence. Where am I going with this? What am I talking about? Blackpool. Anyway, so yeah, going to school. I went to Thames, and like they push like that creative side. I mean, obviously, kids are forced to be like academic and English and maths and all. It's important, but not a lot of schools are big on the creative stuff, and they were. They really, really saw it in me and pushed that. So I'm really grateful for that. And in obviously later years, I feel like Blackpool being an entertainment town has really helped me, because like if I was living in like a random little village somewhere, this wouldn't be my job. Like there's enough venues and there's enough community and there's enough people that have, helped me learn, and I've learned from in Blackpool that have like helped me progress. And
it's the perfect launch pad, I think.
It really is. And I mean, I know there's a lot of like the cabaret side of the entertainment, which is also amazing, and like the drag and all of that. I love it. I think it's great. But in recent years, we've seen like people like us being able to do shows at Bootleg and like gigs all over, and it's nice to see. I'm hoping that like, because Blackpool's known for its cabaret, I really would like the live music kind of scene to.
I think it
also
will,
be up there.
I feel like there's like this energy in the air, that there's this electricity. Do you know what I mean?
I feel like the past few years, like it's not stopped. Like maybe when I met you at the open mic a couple of years ago now, like from then, when those open mics started to now, there's like so many new bands, so many new artists. Every time I come to an open mic, there's people that I don't know, like I've never met before, that have just come out of nowhere. I'm like, where's all this talent coming from? It's crazy. But yeah, I just think like the fact that it's an entertainment town and the venues and the people, it's allowed me to be creative and gig.
Yeah.
Thanks.
I'd sort of say similar. I mean, like you said, I think the music scene goes so unappreciated. Whenever I say, if I'm talking to someone new and they're like, oh, where are you from? And I'm like, Blackpool. They're like, oh, that's unfortunate. I'm like, no.
Oh, I hate
no,
that.
it's not.
Yeah.
Like, I had that conversation with someone last night. I was like, no, it's not unfortunate. And the first thing that I always say is the music scene is so good. That's always the first thing that I say.
Yeah, it is.
Is the music scene goes so unappreciated. Like Bootleg and the Waterloo especially are just like so good, and Backstage now as well. It's incredible. It's like being able to play at venues like that is like actually insane. And I think like with the amount of, there's so many good musicians here, and there's so many like inspiring people, and the people at the venues are so like lovely and welcoming. And I think like growing up around that, I didn't necessarily, like I say, I didn't get involved in it until I was like 16 because I couldn't go out or anything. But when I like started attending the open mics and meeting people like you, I was like, whoa, like I can like make this into a job. This is crazy. And then I like started gigging as a part-time job. I was like, whoa, I can make money from this. This is like crazy. And now it's like I don't have to get a normal part-time job. I can gig and it makes money, and it's like, whoa, that's crazy. That's crazy. So I think like you say, you wouldn't be able to do that if you were like from a small town that didn't have much of a music scene, and that's why like it goes so unappreciated in Blackpool. People just don't know about it. Even the people that live here, they don't know, and they're like, I've even had like musicians say to me like, oh, I don't know, like there's nowhere to go, there's nowhere to play. Saw a post on Facebook where somebody said, oh, there's no good music in Blackpool. I'm like, whoa, where are you? You're not here. Like, but yeah,
I agree. I think it's with the amount of venues and stuff, it's really good. And I feel like there's a lot of very genuine, nice people who are supportive, you know? And it's definitely on the up and up as well, which is really, really nice. I love Blackpool, and I think it gets a really bad reputation, which it doesn't deserve.
Agreed.
And there's a lot of good people here. So next question. So I've broken this down into 3 categories, and this is the last question of the past category. We're looking back in time. So what's your most memorable performance, and what made it special?
So I have a couple in mind. I think my release party for Rosie at Bootleg. You came to
that was good.
I was there.
Were you there?
I was there, but you didn't know me that then.
I don't think. Yeah, we didn't.
No, you
know
didn't.
Each other.
I was in the audience, but I hadn't really gotten I was making music, but I hadn't got the confidence to show people yet.
Aww.
And it was from seeing people, you know, like you guys who are like really confident,
Really
just put yourself
cute.
out there and do it. That like, you know, like I was like, oh fuck it, I'll just go for it. You only live once, you know.
I love that. That's so nice.
For me, like when I was younger, I entered. Sorry, I'm meant to be the interviewer here,
Yeah,
but
go for it.
I entered a competition when I was younger, and actually, like I won in my category. But there's a group of girls who didn't really like me, and they attended. They didn't really tell me that they'd attended, and they made a group chat about me. And then I got sent screenshots from the group chat Slack, and I really got to me. I remember there was this girl who just really got kicks out of being really mean and stuff like that. You know, when people make fun of you like that, when you're trying to just express yourself, it makes you just go inward. But that wanting to create didn't escape. And I'm kind of glad that I've been too scared to come out and sing or perform in front of people, because it means I've gotten good at like producing music, and I learned how to play the harp, I learned how to play the dulcimer, I learned how to play the piano, I learned how to play, well, I can only really do chords and the guitar, but I taught myself all the skills, and I just did music to make me happy for the longest time. And then like seeing you guys perform out and about, like I mean when I said like about like looking up to you, it is partly from experience and seeing how brave you are. Like it's just really beautiful, and it makes you want to go out there, you know what I mean?
I will sob. That's really cute. That's really, really nice. That's crazy that you were at that gig and we didn't even know each other. This was before you'd even like started releasing stuff as well.
Yeah, I had released stuff, but it was under another name. But it's like the first time I'd actually gone out and like, yeah, I was still a little bit in hermit mode. But yeah, and then now we're friends. But I was there.
Oh, I'm glad because that was the first time I'd played with a band, and it was like a band of all my best friends. It was all my music, and I rarely ever get to do that. Like Bootleggers is the place for it, but because I do cover gigs mainly, like any opportunity to play my own stuff is like the best gig ever. You'll agree.
Yeah.
But yeah, the turnout for it, like it was Emma's gig as well. Emma released a song that day. Emma Taylor and the Wallflowers.
Emma Taylor.
But yeah, the turnout for it was just incredible. Like, and because it was Rosie, my mum wrapped up a load of roses, and everyone threw roses onto the stage at the end. And I was like, it was so nice. It was just really, really special for me. And then also the London gig I did recently. That was an originals gig. And like, I feel like when I do gigs here and it's my original stuff, it's all my friends that come and they have to say it's good. And like, the only people that listen to my original music is people that I know, I think, and they have to say it's good. They're not going to be like, no, that's really bad. Whereas in London, it was a load of strangers and they didn't have to be nice. And honestly, like, the feedback was crazy. Like, the whole place was silent. Everyone was listening to me.
Oh,
and it really made me emotional. Really, like, I was literally like, I've never had a gig like this before. People were listening to me, and like watching me, and it was my songs that I'd written. It felt very vulnerable. But then when I came off, people were like, "Oh my god, what's this song about? Why did you write this? I loved this. I love this about this." And I was like, "Oh my god!" It was literally like the best thing ever. I've never experienced anything like that. So yeah, those are my two standout gigs.
I probably have three. I'll skip over one really quickly. When I played an O2 Academy. That was like insane. It was really quiet, in fairness, because I was the first person on at this goth festival.
But it's the O2, man.
I played an O2 Academy. Like, how insane.
Yeah, that's really cool.
Like, I would never have thought of that. It was meant to be at the same venue on the same day as Mother, and I went insane. And then that venue got shut down because of like concrete issues, and I was like, oh, whatever. So it was in like Leicester or something. It was really good. A guy asked me to sign my set list. I was like, yes, of course, have it. So that was a really cool one. Another one was my album launch party at Bootleg. That was insane.
That was a really good night.
That was like the best night ever. That was the first time that I played with a band.
I feel like the album you've just released as well is like, it's really magical.
Thank you.
Like, I actually, when I was watching you perform, your debut, I was actually getting goosebumps, and you know, it was a really, really, really good gig.
Thank you. Yeah, it was like you say, like being able to play your own originals, playing with a band for the first time. It was so nerve-wracking. I was backstage. I was like, oh, what do I do? It was so much fun. I had literally the best time, and like everybody was there. I knew pretty much everybody there. They were so supportive. Everybody was like cheering me really loudly and like screaming for one more song. It was just crazy experience. Getting a picture with everybody behind me as well. I was like, that's like a dream thing. Yeah. I didn't even think to do it, and then my mum was like, Imogen, get a picture. And I was like, okay. I just quickly passed my phone over to Matt. I was like, could you take one, please? It was so good. I loved it. It was every minute of it. It was best gig ever. Anytime that I get to play with the band and anytime that I get to play my original stuff is just insane. So that was one. And then the other one, both were at Bootleg actually, crazy, was the Reclaim night. One of the Reclaim nights. I think it was an International Women's Day event. And it was such a great night because, one, I got to play my original material. Two, I played one of my songs, Be Fearful, and you were there. Yeah. I remember because we spoke after, and so it was the first time that I'd ever explained the meaning behind my song. And I didn't
was that the one last year?
I think so. Was it not the year before?
I think it was
2023, right?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, it was the year before.
I'm not sure. That wasn't the one that you played at.
That wasn't the one I played at. I would have been there, but probably in the audience. Yeah. So that's before I started like not being a hermit.
Yeah. Well, it was it was like, it's a really, really meaningful song to me. I didn't explain it in full detail because it's like it's too personal to get into that, but I was just like, if you need an outlet, use something like this. I hope you can find comfort in it. And I screamed it. I didn't even.
I've got chills. Literally thinking about it.
I didn't even sing it. I literally just screamed it and let everything out. I think it was the last song that I played, and I walked off stage and I broke down. And since then, I haven't been able to play that song as good because it was like I let out so much emotion, and it's like that situation is so much easier for me to deal with now. And whenever I feel like bad about it, I just sing that song and scream it, and I'm like, yay. It's like it helps me to release it.
That's really beautiful. It's a form of therapy.
It really, really is. Like, I don't know where I'd be without like my songs. It's crazy.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Those are some really beautiful responses. Thank you very much. Like, I really appreciate that you actually going into it. Like, those are lovely answers. Right, okay, now we're into the present category. Ooh, present.
I love presents.
The ghost of Christmas present. Okay. Okay, so what are unique challenges or stereotypes that you face as a female musician?
Well, how long have we got? Recently, I need to think about how I word this. Payment gaps, big time.
Yeah.
And I only know about them because I've become friends with other artists, and I don't like to discuss payment or money with other people. You don't want to.
It's awkward, yeah.
But also, like, for the first few years of me gigging, I was just winging it. When people would ask me what my fee is, I was like, you tell me, don't know. And I still feel like that now, and I've been doing it like 6 years. Like, I don't. That's like the worst part of the job for me. But I found out recently that someone was getting paid. I can't remember what the percentage was, but it was something like 40% more than me, doing the same job, at the same venue, because it was a man, and I'm the only female that plays at this venue.
Stop it!
And and the booker was also getting paid more.
I'm going to ask you about this when we're off camera. I don't want to get you into any trouble. But
it wasn't like an agent, but they had someone doing their bookings for them. And this person that was doing the bookings was getting paid more than I was, just for messaging me and being like, hey, can you do a gig?
What on earth?
So, I mean, this is all sorted now, everything's fine. The venue weren't aware of it. So, yeah, all of that came out. But this was literally, I'm the only female that plays at this venue, and all the others are men, and they were all getting paid quite, almost double. Not double. It was a lot. It was a lot more. It's all rectified now. Everything's fine.
I think maybe they rely on the fact that you're not you're not likely to find out, because if there's like after parties or anything, the men might go on a night out together, and also
I think if I would have asked for more money, I would have gotten it. But because I don't ask and just I'm always just like, yeah, I'll have that. But like maybe in the past year or so, and speaking to other people about their fees and what they get paid, I've started to realise like, actually I'm worth more than this. Like I've definitely been like underestimating my so I've sort of been like standing my ground a little bit more, and I don't. It's a really awkward one though. I hate that side of it. But yeah, that. Have you got anything that we can discuss?
I mean, I'll add to that. I've been told by people in the industry, maybe not a gender thing, but maybe a older like concept is, I've been told, why are you so bothered about getting paid? I didn't get paid, so you shouldn't get paid. And I'm like, no, because that's not how it works. It's like, I'm happy to take on things for exposure every now and then. However, if I'm going to travel like 2 hours to get to a gig, then there's got to be some
100%.
sort of something in it, especially if the other acts are getting paid. that's not on.
Mhm.
And it's like, I've just been told, you shouldn't be asking for money. Yes, I should.
Mm.
What my practice and everything is worth to be paid for, especially if everybody else is getting paid. Like, I'm happy to do charity gigs, love it, but it's that thing. It's like, I also find the fee thing really, really awkward. I had to raise my rates recently because I was like, okay, I've not been like asking for enough, and like it's so awkward to ask, but the venues are usually so nice about it.
Exactly.
It's just so awkward to ask.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, well, the temptation is like, you sort of think, oh, well, that's exposure, it's exposure. And it's only from talking to other artists you realise what the.
You should still
Yeah,
get paid
yeah.
for it, yeah.
Yeah, definitely. But yeah, that sucks. I'm really sorry about that. It really sucks. But yeah, I think one of the big things, is just being taken seriously.
Oh, 100%.
Like I feel like with guys, like they can just start doing music and then get taken seriously almost immediately, and it's almost like you sort of put into the like a different sort of category, like a class B.
Yeah.
And then you have to get to a certain. It's like it's not like people listen to the music and go, "Oh, that's good," or they go, "Oh, well, they're talented." It's almost like you have to have other people around you point and go, "Oh, that's good," and then you get taken seriously. When I feel like
I completely agree.
you know what I mean. It's more like a popularity contest a little bit
Yeah.
to get to get recognition.
I feel like, especially because we're young as well, and like I've been like your age coming into it and been like, what the hell? Like you said before, we didn't even know we could get paid for doing music. Like that's not what we went in to do. Like it's all happened by accident. So it's figuring out that like in between of like, I've lost my train of thought.
No, it's fine. It's fine.
This happens to me all the time. I'm like a goldfish. What was I talking? Yeah.
We talked about like recognition. And,
Recognition.
Yeah.
Like what I'd say, I've lost mine now. Right. What I was thinking was, I've had people say to me, like, "He's gone." No, like,
there's something in the air. It must be because of women. I'm joking.
Right. So when I say to people, if people ask me what I do, and I'm like, "Oh, I'm a singer-songwriter guitarist," like, "Oh, right," and like they don't expect me to have it as a job, and I'm like, that's okay. A lot of people don't know that you can get it as a job, and like people are inquisitive about like the pay and stuff, and I'm like, I don't mind telling people sometimes, but I'm like, it's not really something that I like to discuss.
Mm-hmm.
But what people usually say to me is, it's like, I say I'm a singer, and then they're like, oh, I'm like, oh, I've got an album out, and they're like, what?
Yeah.
I didn't expect you to be that good.
Yes.
Yes.
I get that all the time. When I meet someone and I talk about the fact that I'm a singer, and then I show them my music, they're like, "Oh, you're actually good."
Yeah.
So like if I yeah. I mean, is that not? I do it as a job.
Yeah.
Like, what do you mean? It's infuriating.
Yeah. Good answers.
We can talk for ages on the topic.
So, what's your favourite song at the moment and why?
I'm sorry.
At the moment, so actually, at the minute, oh my god, I've just pressed the button.
No, it's still on. It's green. Is it green? Is the green light on?
It's flashing green. What does that mean?
Oh, I'm not sure what that means.
We can always edit it after.
Is that?
Does that mean that it's like connecting?
I've made a boo boo.
That's okay.
No. Oh wait, I think it means that it was off.
There we go.
Okay, it's on now.
Thank you. So recently, I've been listening to a lot of Imogen Heap and Fruitful.
Oh,
I love Imogen Heap anyway, and she's unbelievable. But one thing about me, I love Shrek 2. I love Shrek generally, but Shrek 2 is the one. And her version of Holding Out for a Hero.
Mm-hmm. Oh, it's amazing.
Oh my god.
It's absolutely amazing.
When I listened, and it was on like the end title tracks, and I mean, I used to watch Shrek 2 like every night when I was younger, and I watch it quite a lot now as well. And when I listen to that, it's like almost nostalgic, but then also like it's so timeless and like, oh, I don't know. It just makes her sound and her voice and her production, everything that she does has that
And the Mew Mew gloves as
Shrek-2-ness.
well.
Oh my god, the gloves.
They're so cool.
I can't describe it other than Shrek 2. Like, all of her stuff makes me think, Shrek 2. And all, like, the Shrek 2 soundtrack, unbelievable.
Mhm.
If you haven't listened to the Shrek 2 soundtrack, listen to it. I have
It's
it on
really
CD
good.
with a
Yeah.
poster inside it as well.
They didn't have to go that hard.
They didn't. It's so good. But yeah, anything of hers at the minute, I'm like, she's amazing. And like you said, her live performances with the glove, crazy.
I was watching a video the other day where she was showing FK Twigs, like her using, and she was going, "You sexual," and then she was like, and making all these effects. It was like, I was like, oh, it's so cool.
Yeah, she's really, really cool. So yeah, at the minute, and also like, I feel like, I mean, when people say what's your favourite song of all time, like, I can't answer that. I hate that question.
Yeah.
But that springs to mind of like, that will always be like,
yes.
I listen to it and I'm like, love that. Cool, thanks.
Okay, I do actually have a really specific answer for
Oh,
this.
go for it.
If we're talking really current, then I'd probably have to say, I can't say that name on a podcast actually, so I'm going to skip that one. It's a System of a Down song, Violent.
Okay.
Awful videos. Anyway, that's
okay.
It's a really good song though. Other than that, I Want You to Love Me by Fiona Apple.
I love Fiona
That
Apple.
is like, she's a big influence recently as well. It's just the line, I know when I go all my particles disband and disperse and I'll be back in the pulse. Come on.
What?
Come on. But then my all-time favourite song is The People by Ryan Goldmouth. Every time I listen to it, I just stop and I'm like,
this is a vibe.
Like, if I want to feel something, I listen to that song. I'm like, I love listening to it like sat on a park bench and people watching. Because it's essentially, it just makes you think everybody has their own life. You don't know anything about it.
Yeah.
And it just makes you stop and think like, you don't know what's going on with someone. Everybody's like so unique. And it makes me yearn to like know every single thing about every single person and about every single thing. It's like that's just the ultimate like feel of the song. That song like influenced me so much. It's just like, I love it. It's amazing.
You speak so eloquently.
Yeah. Yeah, you do speak eloquently, yeah.
I'll take it.
I think both answers
It's a
were
good
good
film.
though. And great film, great soundtrack. Yeah. I mean, my favourite song right at the moment, right now, is probably, I've got Born Again by Ray, Doja Cat and Lisa on rotation because she's just come out. And so I'm still like getting the dopamine every time I listen to it. I'm like, washing up and doing my life. But like, other than that, there was a song that I came across just by accident. I can't remember what it's called now. You know what? I can't remember what it's called, but I've liked it, and it's by a band who only has like a few thousand listeners. But my favourite thing is coming across bands where they've not been discovered yet.
Yeah,
I love discovering music that isn't like big yet, and then, especially when it's a banger and it feels like I'm like, oh yeah. Like one of my favourite bands is probably Frank Moody. They make funk music. It's like rock funk music.
High fade.
Yeah.
Sorry. It was just a quick, like, as soon as he said funk, I was like, I love him.
But
Continue.
like, I love finding like just new music before it like gets picked up. And you know what? I don't like the fact that a lot of the charts, it sort of tells you what you should like. And I feel like you should be able to determine for yourself what you like. Good music is good music. It doesn't need to be mainstream to be good music.
So true.
You know. Anyway, next question. Okay, how is your style evolving or has evolved?
I would say I feel like my writing and my music style. We're talking about music style.
Yeah, music style, fashion, everything. I just want you to just talk about evolution. You know?
I feel like when I first started releasing music and Jupiter Girl, that was very like fun. Like I had no emotional attachment to that song.
Yeah, I'm gonna check if the camera's still on, but carry on.
Oh,
It's still recording. Sorry, I had this
Yay!
paranoia that it
you never know.
it would have just
Gotta
stopped.
check.
Do you know what I mean? Anyway, sorry, carry on.
Yeah, with Jupiter Girl, it was very like, hee fairies and silly old girls. It was just a fun little thing, and like it sounds like that as well, like production wise and like the chords and everything. Like it was just fun. Yeah, just a girl who's lactose intolerant from Jupiter.
I love that.
I wrote it when we were in lockdown, and I had COVID, and I was like delirious, and I was like, this is fun.
The thing I love about that's the one where I'm thinking about pirates again. I just love pirates.
I'll get to that.
I'm sorry.
Like, that was like my first experience of like producing a song, recording. Like I do it with my friends Alex and Joe, and it was just really lighthearted, really easy. Like I wasn't being like, this is the best song ever. Like this is lyrical genius. I was literally just like, this is a silly song that I've brought out. It was just fun.
Yeah.
And then with pirates, that to me is like for you with Be Fearful, like it's. I mean, the lyrics are metaphorical and like sea shanty vibes, but the meaning behind it to me is so personal, and so like that recording experience was very different, and also the production was a lot more what I want to sound like.
Yeah.
And like I felt like I was like finding my feet a little bit more with what kind of sound that I want. I still am. I still have no idea, like genre wise, or like
how boring would it be though if you had it figured out?
Yeah,
that's part of the adventure of life.
It's so fun. It's so fun. So yeah, and that was like very heavy on the production. We really spent a lot of time on it. It was going to be like we had a lot of like strings, and like it was all different kind of genres. This like pirates could have been something completely different. We had loads of different versions of it. But yeah, we were buzzing with the end result. And then Rosie was literally just acoustic. I did it in my room and recorded all the vocals
Rosie's
in my room.
a banger. Rosie's a banger.
But like I recorded all the vocals on my own, and I love the vocal layering. Like Imogen Heap and Ariana Grande, have you seen her videos of when she's in the studio?
Yeah.
And, like the vocal layering that she does is crazy. And I love that because I love harmonies. I love, like singing with my friends in harmony. Like that's probably my favorite part of the recording process as well. Like vocal layering is my thing. Like I absolutely love it. And so that was literally, I can't even tell you how many layers of vocals. I gave it back to Joe to mix, and he was like, Jesus. He was like, I was like, I'm sorry. So, but it was like, as far as production goes, like that was the only thing big about it. The rest of it was just a guitar.
Yeah.
So I've sort of, evolution-wise, I don't know. I'm still figuring it out. I'm sort of like, at the minute, I'm writing like more. In my head, I've like tried to steer away from like the singer-songwriter stuff because I'm like, oh, everyone's a singer-songwriter, but I am a singer-songwriter.
Yeah.
Like that is what I am. So if it's gonna sound like that, then let it be. Like I write what I write.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm just figuring
just
it out.
simple bards.
Exactly.
Just simple bards trying to figure out the world.
So yeah, yeah, all over the place. I don't know. I'm still figuring it out. I feel like I always will be.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel similar. Like obviously now I'm more heavily into like rock and metal music. I really like folk and country though, and like the odd pop song, the odd indie song. It's like I love like the odd rap song as well. It's like I don't have anything against any genre, and sometimes songs will come out and I'm like, yeah, it's good, but does it fit with this? And I'm like, what do I do with them? Because now in my voice memos I have like, I don't even know how to tell you, I think I've got like 60 different folders of unfinished song ideas, and I'm just like, which ones do I do?
Yeah.
It's like I've got these 3 that I'm recording at the minute that are definitely more, 2 of them are more like alternative, creepy, like one of them's like kind of creepy, and then like a bit of like System of a Down, like metal riffs,
nice,
like sort of like Lonely Day vibe, like Lonely Day by System of a Down, like chilled metal, like and rock, and that's like sort of the vibe that it's getting at the minute. But if you look at like the Towers, if you go through each song, it's like they're all different genres. Like
I love that though.
That's kind of the meaning behind the Towers. It's like, the tower, the tarot card. Like chaos.
yes.
Yeah.
Well, it's always, things have to collapse for new beginnings.
Precisely. And that's just like, I feel like the whole album is just like an emotional roller coaster,
Mhm.
and it's like the songs that I've been writing for like 5 years was
Yeah.
like what it was, and I was like, right, well, this is my growth. Here you are,
Mm.
in no particular order in terms of timeline. It was just, here is a collection of my emotions over the past 5 years. Enjoy.
Yeah.
That was like what it was. So I feel like that's, if you want to know about my growth, there's the album. It's
Yeah.
like it was just, especially with like Be Fearful, Hide in Darkness, they're more like rocky, which are like some of the later ones I wrote. Joy is Subjective, I don't even know what that I don't know. It's almost a bit jazzy in some ways, and it's like I don't do that, but
Yeah.
it's like I don't want to streamline myself into one genre. It's like at the minute I'm writing very long songs. I've pretty much just finished a song and it's 5.5 minutes long, and my dad's like, but is that going to do well commercially? And I'm like, I don't care.
Yeah.
I don't care. If I like it, somebody else will.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so,
Oh,
so what if they don't?
Also,
Yeah.
it's that length because it feels natural to you to be that length.
And that's how long the story is.
Yeah.
That's what's come out.
Yeah. 100%.
That's what'll be.
100%. Right. Lovely answers.
Thank you.
So that one. Oh, I've done that one. Challenges as unsigned artists, and how do you overcome them? So yeah, what challenges do you face as unsigned artists? How do you overcome them? How do you promote yourself in this sort of world where it's tricky, it's hard?
You tell me. Literally, like, how? It is hard. Like, I mean, I've not released anything in like nearly 2 years now.
Yeah.
Because I've been so busy gigging and working, and like that's taken priority, which has been fun. This year I'm getting back to it, and I don't actually know, other than posting TikToks and like being active on social media, what else do you do?
Yeah,
Genuinely.
and it's hard as well, because just because you're active in social media doesn't necessarily means it'll translate.
No, I know, and like you don't know what works, and like I don't know, and I'm also like a perfectionist. Like I can't just record a video and then post it. Like that's why I don't post many videos, because I'll listen to it once and I'm like, oh my god, no, I hate it.
Yeah,
and then like I don't know, it's hard. I actually I don't know. This is the challenges, and like you've got no one telling you to do this because this will work, or make this kind of music because this will do well. Like, which I suppose is a good thing, because we are doing it for ourselves, and like we're recording and writing and releasing stuff that we actually, like you just said, I don't care if it does well. I just like this and I want to release it, which I suppose is a good thing. But yeah, without a label, I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, that's fair. We're all just figuring it out, aren't we? As you go along.
Promotion is expensive. That's I've never bought any promotion. I think once my dad pushed my video on Facebook for £10, and it did like okay. The biggest video that I've done was the one that I put the absolute least effort into, and that seems to always be the way.
Yeah,
it's like you were saying, how you're a perfectionist. The video that I posted today, sleeping on the blacktop, I was recording that for 2 hours. 2 hours trying to get it like decent enough for me to be like, right, okay, I can post it, it's fine. But yeah, the biggest video that I've done was I was sat on the airplane. I'd seen people do this before. I was sat on the plane, we were just about to take off. I take a video of me sat in my seat doing absolutely nothing, and I put Be Fearful on it, and I said, I'm on a flight for the next 4.5 hours and I won't have Wi-Fi, so blow up my song while I'm on the plane. And it got like 1,000 likes.
Stop it! That's crazy.
And I did nothing.
That's nuts.
I landed in Turkey. I got to the hotel. I put the Wi-Fi, and I was like, "Oh, cool."
That's mental.
And it's like I put no effort into it. Like, even if I post stuff of like a stupid thing that I've done with the band, it does well.
Yeah.
It's like I've put no effort into it, and then the stuff that I put loads of time into does nothing. It's crazy.
Yeah.
So essentially, it's bloody difficult.
Yeah, it is bloody difficult. I mean, I've found that like something I've been struggling with is I've had a few videos go quite viral, but they've gone viral, I think, actually for the wrong reasons. I didn't realise until, like, you see the comments that come in. So, like, like looking at my stats and, like, it's like 90% male audience, and then the comments I have to delete as well about, like, like things that people want to do to me because of how I look. And one half of me is very grateful that like I think if I wanted to sell myself out, sell my soul, I think I could do that. All I'd have to wear is wear really tight clothes.
Yep.
And like turn around or like and have like and that would go viral, but no one's actually listening to the music. No one's engaging with it. No one cares. Yeah, and it's kind of, and that's the tricky thing. Like, I found so far with the algorithms, the stuff that I've done that's really taken off was like a meme video I did, which had nothing to do with any of my art or any of my music, and stuff where it's actually about the music or about the art. And I think it's like, I think people get that, and then all the comments are about like about my body.
That's
and
what
that's
I
it.
get
And I
on
get
TikTok
like
Live.
yeah. That's
So,
it, yeah.
But they send me roses.
Yeah, send me roses. But sometimes people do like the music and the art for the music and the art. It's so tricky as well, because I know, like, if I had a manager, they'd be like, oh right, okay, now I've seen what does well. Only wear bodycon dresses, and you need to start every video with your back to the camera. I mean, like it would be, and that's what they. And then, but the thing is, no one would ever take you serious for the art.
No.
You know what I mean? And it's like, it's tricky. I feel like if you want to find a genuine audience who really cares about what you're doing, you have to do it slowly. And it's difficult. But the people who you gain that way,
though,
they're genuine.
You're not going anywhere.
100%.
Oh, 100%. 100%. Sorry if that's a little bit too
No,
much, but that's just an observation I've had. Yeah. But yeah, it's tough. It's tough. But you just keep plodding along. Keep plodding along. Okay, so future. What are your future plans? And what would be your dream project or album?
Scary. Future plans, like I've just said, I need to get back into focusing on my music and releasing my music and just doing more of my music. Even like the recording process, I miss it. It's just so fun. It is. There's nothing like it.
Yeah.
Like you said, it's like therapy. Mm-hmm. And also because I do it with Joe and Alex, like they're such good friends of mine that like it's just so fun. I love it. And I've been writing I've got 2 years worth of songs that I've not even sat down and made demos of. Like, I have so much to get out and that I want to show people, but I've just not had the time. So yeah, future music from me. And who knows? I'll be happy if I'm still gigging like I am, because I love it. I absolutely love it. And yeah, more collaboration, more stuff like this.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's when I think about the future, I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I
just gotta keep doing what you want to do, though.
Yeah.
And things just happen, and they sort of pop out of nowhere. Even ideas as well. Like the ideas that come into your head, like for instance, for me with this podcast, isn't something like I was like, I'm gonna do this. It was just sort of like I was having a conversation with friends. I was like, I just think there's so many interesting women who would really like to get to know and would like to befriend. Like, why don't you do a podcast? Yeah, maybe I should do a podcast.
Love that though, because there's been so many times where like me, Joe, and Alex have been like, oh, we should start a podcast, and we're like, yeah. Anyway, like we never do. Like, there's so many ideas that I've had that I'm like, oh yeah, I'll do that, and I never do it.
Yeah.
So maybe for the future, do more things that you say you're gonna do.
Yeah.
So yeah, maybe just take more risks.
Take more risks. Mm-hmm. Take your ideas seriously. Execute them.
Yeah, so true. Yeah, me and my friend Tegan have always said, oh, we should start a YouTube channel. Like, that would be fun. Be like Sam and Colby, but us.
Imogen
and Tegan. Yeah, but I agree. Like, doing more things like that. Obviously, I'm in the process of recording 3 songs in the studio with Lucas, which is really cool. And I've got the dates booked in for the final recording sessions, which is really cool. End of Feb. exciting.
Oh my God, soon.
So yeah, and then I'm not in a rush to release them because I want to promote them correctly and slowly and get a bit of a buzz.
Yeah.
I'd also one goal that I really want to do is I really want to write some music for like film and TV.
Oh,
I'd really like to do that. Like one of the songs that I'm recording, I wrote about a book I read. It's called Last One at the Party. The song called Last One at the Party. And we don't know the author, but we like have messaged her on Facebook and like she's replied. So
That's cool.
yay! And we've like sent her the song. She hasn't sent it yet, but she said it was really flattering that I'd written one, which is cute. But yeah, I really enjoy taking a concept that I really like and writing about it.
Yeah.
Like just reading a book, loving it, and then writing about it. I think that's really cool. I like to take inspiration from other people's creations, so I'd like to do more of that. Other than that, I want to play more with the band.
That's one for me as well.
I want to, yeah, 100%. I mean, it's hard because they're all busy, busy bees, and so am I. But I think I'd like to do that, and I really want to learn how to metal scream.
Oh.
I've been trying, and it's really hard.
Could you give us a
I
sample?
know there's a guy that does lessons.
Okay.
I'm sure at Unison.
You see, right? I feel like the universe puts you in situations because you're meant to be there.
Yeah.
And maybe you're going to do a scream on a thing, it's going to go viral. And it's all because you were here and Daisy suggested
So true.
this. You don't know. You can only know the future tracing your steps backwards. And this is just what I believe. And I feel like, who knows? Or maybe there'll be other things that come from this that we don't even anticipate right now. Anyway, that's a little tangent, sorry.
No, it's fine. That's why I have no regrets, because I like where I am now.
Yeah.
And I might not be where I am now if I didn't make mistakes. So
Oh, 100%.
That's nice. I like that.
there's no point in worrying about it because I like now.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Okay, so if you could collaborate with any artist, living or dead, who would it be and why? Is it on?
Yes.
Yes.
It's on.
It's on. Good. It's just
It's
just
on.
the light, yeah.
Living. It
Dead.
has to be Miley Cyrus. It would have to be, or Taylor.
Mhm.
I feel like writing wise, I'd want to write something with Taylor, but like if I did a performance with Miley Cyrus, pass out. I'd pass away. Yeah.
I love, have you seen that video where she talks about like she's doing a gig and she has like this chair and she's like, if you sit people and they don't accept you, like you decorate your chair and you take it and you sit elsewhere. But anyway,
She's what a woman. Love her.
yeah, she's great.
But also, you've asked me for one artist. I'm giving you many. Hosier. I forgot to mention him before in my influences. He is God to me. I have his lyrics tattooed on me. Like I love him. Yeah. I'll show you in a bit. His writing.
You saw him at the Lytham Festival.
I've seen him 3 times. I love him. Honestly, like
he's great.
I've loved him.
He's like a fey prince.
He's not real. This man isn't real. He's not a real man. His writing is ridiculous. I think you said before, like it feels like invasive, but also so poetic and like
real people do.
Don't
even
speak to me about it. It's so silly. Anyway, he's got a few songs with female artists, like real people do. Is that the one? No, it's not.
I love the crush that Brittany Broski has on him as well.
Oh my god,
it's so funny.
I get it. Anyway, he's got a few songs with female artists that are like just so. They're some of my favourite songs of his. Would love to do that. That would be dream.
Yes.
Dead. Amy Winehouse. R.I.P. I've got her tattooed on me too. Dead. That's all I can think of right now. Thank you.
Ryan Gullimond. Mother.
No way.
Really? System of a Down. Surge in general. And Ren.
Yes, I know Ren.
Ren would be great. I've got a song that's like a rap that I wouldn't do on my own, but I'd do it with him. I'm just like, come on. sit down and play it.
Oh, you now.
I don't know. I feel like my younger self would just say like Ed Sheeran and Dodie.
Oh my
I really like
God, you used to love
Dodie.
Yeah,
Dodie.
we
Yeah.
sang that together the first time we met,
Yeah.
didn't we? That's crazy.
That's a blast from the past. So I haven't listened to her in a while. I need
Neither
to get
have
back
I.
on that. Yeah, I really like Dodie.
But yeah,
Yeah.
and probably now Fiona Apple as well. Or Jasmine Parkin from Mother Mother in general as well. I love her to bits. She's so sweet. She's like my bestie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh. I mean, you just have to look at my wall to know if. Well, I'm the interviewer here.
Blondie would be.
I love Blondie. Goldfrapp. Have either of you ever listened to Goldfrapp? I love
I
Goldfrapp.
don't know. Maybe.
They're really good. I really like Kate Bush.
Love Kate.
I love
Love Kate Bush. Lana Del Rey's like the OG. It's a crime that she's never won a Grammy.
Oh,
It's I don't like. She's influenced everyone. I love Wolf Alice. Don't know if you listen to Wolf Alice.
I've heard of them.
Nick Drake's great as well. Billy Martin. You guys would really like Billy Martin. If you listen to Billy Martin, right, I'm going to show you Billy Martin's music after this because you
Okay.
both would love Billy Martin.
Okay,
You'd be all over that. Marina and the Diamonds, Led Zeppelin, Beatles,
I
Fleetwood
love Led
Mac.
Zeppelin.
That's the vinyl for right, guys. I know this is really weird, and I'm going to give you like the behind the scenes of the setup. Right, okay. So I have basically. I know I'm the interviewer here. Sorry, Imogen, but I have a wall of vinyls that I look to when I'm producing music, and that's what we're discussing off camera. Sorry, guys. We'll get back to being serious.
I just felt like we were getting very
Very serious, very serious. You know, and I'm not even like I'm not a proper professional, so all this will be kept in and unedited because that's perfect. We'll see that. Yeah. Right, we're back. Back to business, baby. Okay, so if you could perform anywhere, where would you perform and why?
NPR Tiny Desk.
Oh yes,
That is
yes. That's a good answer.
the dream. Oh my God, I've
Yeah.
always said that is like to me
Mm-hmm.
the ultimate.
Oh, 100%.
I ever got to do a Tiny Desk that life made.
Mm-hmm.
Oh
Yeah.
my God.
Yeah. Oh, without doubt.
Tiny Desk. Some of the best performances ever have been at Tiny Desks. Some of my favourite artists ever have all done Tiny Desks.
Yeah.
Big dream.
Yeah.
I mean, the first concert that I ever went to was Ed Sheeran at Wembley Stadium, so I suppose I have to say that.
Full circle.
Yeah, Wembley Stadium would be cool. There's this really cool venue called Red Rocks, which looks like you're performing in the Grand Canyon.
Mm.
And I'm like, how cool would that be?
Yeah.
It's almost like an amphitheatre.
Okay.
And it's not like a massive venue. It's only like, I'd say it's probably like an O2 Academy capacity. But it's all outdoors. And it's so good.
Yeah.
Like, also like, I don't know, Glastonbury or Download. That'd be cool. Probably Download.
Yeah.
Download. And the Moon. The Moon.
The Moon.
Yeah.
First artist to perform on the Moon or Mars.
Mm.
Yeah.
Mm.
My first concert was also Ed Sheeran at Madison Square Gardens.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
He seems like a really nice guy.
He's a lovely geezer.
He
He's
seems
a
like
nice
a
lad.
genuinely nice person.
What a lovely lad.
Mm. Okay.
Ready?
So, what would be your advice to aspiring musicians?
Do it.
Do it.
Just do it. No.
Palpatine. Do it.
Do it. No. Yeah. What? I'd say like when I started, I literally just, like I said, I used to play for free or for like chicken nuggets, or I'd just say yes to everything. Like as much as like you guys have been there too, it's scary when you first start and your nerves are all over the place and you feel vulnerable and like it's a scary thing, and I still get that now. But I'll just say yes to everything, do everything, go to all the open mics, get involved in the community, because when I was first starting out, there wasn't really much of a community or that I knew of. I wasn't part of it. Yeah. And the past few years that I have been involved and I've met you guys and like the open mic scene and just the gig scene in general, it's been so much better for me. And like networking, getting to know people, just doing as much. Say yes.
Yeah.
Do it. Say yes to everything.
Yep.
Yeah, just get yourself out there, make friends with people, work with people rather than seeing them as competition. Like,
Yeah.
you're not going to get anywhere with that.
Yeah. Yeah, it's
And I
true.
think that's it. And have a lovely time.
Go to open mics. That's always the first thing that I say to people is go to open mics. I started out there and now I host them and I love it. I love it so much. It doesn't pay very well. I don't care.
Yeah.
I would do it for, well, I'm not going to say that on a recorded medium, but I love them so much.
Yeah.
They're really, I just love them. I love seeing people perform for the first time. It's like we had one at Bootleg on Wednesday and there was, the band that had never performed before and they were absolutely bricking it. And we were just, me and one of the other artists, Shabs, we were just talking to them and being like, look, you're going to be fine. You're going to regret it if you don't do it.
Yeah.
And once you do it, you've broken it. You've done the first one.
Yeah.
And now you can just you can carry on.
I'd do more Bootleg open mics, but it's exactly the same time as my book club. And I love book club.
That sucks.
I love it. And I'm like, but I love reading.
I feel that. There's also no cake at Bootleg, and I feel like you get cake at book club sometimes.
Well, sometimes. Christmas. Sometimes you get, but most of the time, like, we just order like wings and stuff. But
okay,
yeah,
well, there's
yeah.
not,
And it's just like
only
it's a little
crisps at
social
Bootleg,
time,
so-
talk about the book and stuff. But I'm thinking of maybe every now and again being like, girls, love you, but I've got to do an open mic night every
That's
now and
okay.
again. I'm sorry.
That's
you
all
know.
good. Don't
Yeah.
you worry. But yeah, that's my biggest advice is just go to open mics, meet people, speak to people, and ask people for advice. Like if you like most people, like if anybody came up to us, we'd just be like, we'd yap away. Like we'd be like, yeah, I want to help you. Yeah, I'll help you do this. I hope like.
Yeah.
Most musicians that I know will be very eager to help people get on their feet. It's
I
like,
feel like as well, just getting out there and befriending people allows you to have more of a healthy view on the world,
yes,
both on yourself and on other people and stuff.
Yeah.
Because it's so easy to be like, I think like jealousy is toxic. It's dangerous.
Yeah.
And like like the best cure for that is just to get to know people and befriend people.
Yeah.
And just like getting to know people on the scene and making friends. And I feel like the chances are it is a bit of a lottery, and the chances are is like it probably won't take off. Might do, but it probably won't. But if you made all these beautiful friendships along the way, it's living what life's all about.
Yeah. I feel like the reason that you do it should be because you love the music rather than needing it to be a famous.
Yeah.
Like,
100%.
Yeah, it's like you should do it because you love the music, not because you love the attention.
Yes,
Like,
definitely.
I feel like another thing is like I feel like music can feel like a big clique that you're not a part of at the start.
Yeah.
I definitely felt like that at first.
Yeah.
And then I feel like as I've got older as well, I've been able to like relate to people. Like as soon as I could come out, it's like we were always talking and we were like, oh, can't even like go out because I'm like underage. But then as soon as I turned 18, I was out with everyone and it was great. But there's I didn't feel excluded. It was just a shame that I couldn't come out. But I feel like if you talk to people, like there's so many like groups of friends that come to the open mics just to watch it.
Yeah.
Who are in the music scene. And I see them every time, and I'm like, yeah, just come and be a part of it. They'll speak to you. Like,
and it's just the coolest people as well. Like you end up befriending just like the coolest people.
Exactly.
Like there's definitely some ladies who I've like befriended. Of course, you guys as well, but like just at open mic nights, you sit in the audience, and they're always just like proper sound, decent
Everyone's
people.
so nice.
Yeah. Let's go next question. Okay. Oh, have you answered advice for aspiring musicians? Yes. Yeah, you did. Sorry, I'm there really is just one question left. That's gone so fast. So what would you change about the current music industry if you could, as an independent artist?
Going back to what we said earlier about everything being social media driven, like it has purpose and it can be really, really good. But there's so many like labels now that will only sign someone if you've got like 50,000 followers.
I
I've seen
thought-
so many people on TikTok talking about it, about how they'll like be picked up by this label and they'll get their hopes up, but because they've not got enough followers or enough like views on a video or something like that, they won't get signed. Like, when did that when did that happen?
It's almost like, what's the point in a label at that point?
Exactly. Because if you're doing well on your own, you don't really need a label. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. It works well, but then it's also got its downfalls. So I don't know. But maybe that. What was the question again, Dulcie?
It's it's fine. I mean, that was a really good answer to the question. It was basically about what would you change about the current music industry if you could as an independent artist.
Oh, and all of like, did you see Chapel Roan's
Yes,
thingy
about
at the Grammys the other day? That
about healthcare.
yeah.
We
got you,
have
you got
we have
us.
the NHS, but
Yeah. Just like more, if you're signed, more freedom to be creative, because there's so many like contracts and stuff where you pretty much sign your life away and you sign all your creativity away.
You got viral on this one thing. Do it again. Do it
Yeah.
again. Do it again. Do it again. No
Like, there's
creativity.
no soul in it. I feel
Yeah,
like there's so many labels where there's just no soul. There's no creativity. There's no. It's literally just they'll find a person that can sing
Oh,
and will
100%.
look good, and they'll be like, "Oh, well, you should dress like this. We'll make you this song." Yeah,
Yeah.
none of that. That's all I have to say.
That's the thing that puts me off, is like, I think that labels are so suffocating.
Yeah.
And it's the one thing I never want to not be allowed to make the music that I want to make.
Mm.
So I feel like it's viable to get through as an independent artist now. It's just obviously it's quite hard when you don't have the funding, but yeah, other than that, changes. It's like, I wish that, like you were saying before, that like the radio tells you what to listen to.
Yeah.
And it's like you're almost forced to just listen to big artists.
Yeah.
But I wish that people appreciated their local music scene more.
Yes.
Yeah, like I was saying, like going back to like Blackpool, people say, "Oh, it's like awful. Like the music scene's like there's no music scene." I'm like, go out and see it.
Touch some
Like,
grass.
yeah, stop living under a rock and just literally just go and support local artists. It's like, I always see, whenever I'm looking at bootlegs posts, they're always saying, "This is one to go to. I know that you don't know them, but go." And I've found so many artists that I love from that.
They're
Like,
always the best gigs.
Yeah.
they are, like A.S. Fanning. I supported him. They were incredible. Like, he was incredible. That band, my god, they're so good live. High Fade. Oh my god, they're one of my favourite bands now. Insane that they played there twice. I've been to see them twice, and then I went to see them in Liverpool, like literally like 2 weeks ago. Crazy. And Loose Articles, I've got to support them there. They're awesome.
They're playing against you.
Yeah, Feb 14th, I've got a gig. Can't go. Tragic. But
I saw a band at Bootleg last week, and it was, they were like a full orchestra, but it was also like prog rock, and it was, I've never heard anything
Love
like
that.
it. It was so cool. Yeah, it was really, really cool. Like, I've never.
Oh, just go back in time. Start again.
I'll start again. I went to Bootleg last week, and I saw a band called the Orchestra for Now, and it was a full, pretty much a little orchestra, like all sorts of instruments. And it was like prog rock, like 8-minute long songs. But I was hooked. I literally was like, I've never heard anything like this. I've never seen anything like this. It was crazy. And like, I'd listened to their song. They've only got one song out. I think they've got 2 now, actually. But I'd listened to their song in the day, and I was like, if this is as good as it is in my headphones live, then Christ. And they were unbelievable. Like, one of the best things I've ever seen at Bootleg. I'd go and see them again. Do you know what I mean? Like you've just said, like, you find bands that you wouldn't usually find go into Bootleg, even if you just go on a whim, and like, you might not like it, but yeah, you've had a good night. Doesn't matter.
To add to that, another band at Bootleg that I saw, Mongolian rock metal band, Oohai.
I've heard about this.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I've heard about
So
them.
good.
Yeah.
That was all I had to say.
Another good band that I saw at Bootleg. It was like, was it last year before? I can't remember. I was supporting this band called Honeymoon. I'd never heard of them. They were insane. They were a bit like Beach Boysy, but also reminded me of Suck It and See, the Arctic Monkeys album.
Yeah.
That's my favourite album of theirs. So watching these, I was like, oh my god, there was like 4 vocalists. The harmonies were crazy. Oh, they were so good, and I still listen to them. They're not even together anymore. They disbanded. I was very sad, but they were amazing, and like I only saw that because I was supporting.
Yeah.
So that sort of pushed me to then just go and watch random gigs at Bootleg, even if you don't know who they are. You might find some favourite bands.
Yeah.
Do it.
Do it. Do it. And do you know what? That's it. I've run out of questions now. Is there anything that you'd like to say before we end?
Thank
the
you.
podcast? Thank
Love
you.
Follow. Give us a follow.
Yes.
Plug your social media.
Daisy Atkinson with a little underscore on the end on Instagram. Daisy Atkinson on Spotify. Daisy Atkinson. Thank you.
Imogen Evans music on all social media and Imogen Evans on Spotify and all streaming platforms. Imogen Evans.
A.L.M.O.R.A.
Yep.
Music and Art Studio on Instagram. A.L.M.O.R.A. on Spotify.
With a bunch of dots.
With a dot.
Yeah,
Oh
there's
yeah,
like
it's because
dots in
it's
there.
because it stands for the Art Lovers Musical Odyssey into Radiant Aesthetics. Which you know is like.
I would have collapsed on those words.
So like because I want like it to be like an experience. You know, and eventually it'd be really cool to have like projections and you to be able to walk through
I
the
love
music.
watching you perform
And,
and
like,
having all like your art involved in it. It's so cool.
Yeah. Yeah, well, I want it to be like really interactive eventually, and like
Immersive.
like there's a thing that I saw right where you could like scan paintings with your phone, and then the things pop out at you.
Ooh.
And like I want to like if I could integrate, I want to learn as much as I can about special effects, like live special effects. I want it to be a whole. Yeah.
You should do. Thank you. You should do like those. You know those museums.
This is turning into an advice career session. Thank you, girls.
You know those like immersive museum experiences where you can go and like lie under like Van Gogh's Starry
Yes,
Night.
that's what I want to be.
Do that.
Yes.
Love
Yeah,
that.
yeah. Like
Yay.
if I ever got signed, I'd be like, guys, this is my dream. This is my dream. I want it to be like an immersive art exhibit thing that pops up where like, you know, I've made the music as well. So I'm also an artist.
Yeah.
But like, you know, and then if there'd ever be any labels who you never know. If there's any labels who'd ever watch that, that is ultimately where I want to go. That is my dream. That's my dream.
Let's also take a moment to appreciate the projection.
Oh yes.
Yes.
The Eccentric Lady
we've been
Society.
Blocking it the whole time.
Ta-da! Oh.
Wait.
Wait.
Whoa.
Oh.
Wait.
Oh.
No.
Wow.
No, wait. What are we making?
It's
I
okay.
remember I can make like an old woman.
Okay.
Like
Ready?
that. Like so you've got like
Go on.
so you've got like
This is top
You've
content.
got like the nose and the mouth, like and then like that for the bonnet.
Yeah.
It's an old lady.
That's okay.
Yeah.
I can do a wave.
All right, well,
Wow.
thank you so much for watching. I hope you've had as much fun watching it as we've had like doing it, because it's just been like a nice little chat, hasn't it?
It has.
Yeah, now we're just going to hang out, probably take a few promo shots, that sort of thing,
Wonderful.
and, you know, just chill. But anyway, thank you for watching. Goodbye!